First tonight, a Janesville woman speaking publicly after she says she was threatened by ICE with deportation.
And an apartment complex controversy, why some residents in Fitchburg are worried they may soon lose their homes.
This is News 3 at 10.
Thanks for joining us. A domestic abuse survivor living in Janesville says she is faced with a choice: find her estranged husband and turn him in, or face deportation.
She shared her story at an event hosted by several immigrant advocacy groups. Keely Arthur was there and has the details.
That's right. Those are the options Maria Portugal said Immigration and Customs Enforcement gave her earlier this month. She says she hasn't seen the father of her children in over a year, and today hundreds of people gathered by her side to let her know she's not alone in this fight to stay in the state.
Pues me siento feliz, segura y saber que existe gente que nos apoya y que no estamos solas.
Ask Maria Portugal about her time in the Badger State and you'll get the happiest of responses.
Es hermoso, no lo cambio.
It's beautiful, I wouldn't change for anything.
But talk about her current situation and you'll hear the opposite emotion.
Wow, me sentí súper triste.
I felt very, very sad.
On Tuesday, Maria shared her story with a crowd of more than 100 people at Madison Christian Community, struggling at times.
Dos hijas pequeñas.
To explain that on July 9th, after 20 years in the state and 3 years of working to get a visa, Immigration and Customs Enforcement called her lawyer without warning, threatening deportation and separation from her children.
Y lo único que le pregunté, ¿por qué? ¿Por qué yo? ¿Por qué me va a deportar si estoy esperando mi permiso?
The only thing I ask is why me if I'm just waiting for my visa?
When she couldn't take the pain of her situation any longer, her son, Mario, stepped in.
She's a great mother, and she didn't do anything wrong. She just wanted to have a free life and be happy.
And that's all really anyone seemed to want in this room, to be happy and be home, just like Maria.
Lo que más deseo es mantenerme en Wisconsin.
And the thing that I wish the most is to stay here, to remain here in Wisconsin.
We contacted ICE. A public affairs staffer there said ICE focuses its enforcement on resources on individuals who pose a threat to national security, public safety, and border security. However, all of those in violation of the immigration laws may be subject to immigration arrest, detention, and if found removable by final order, removal from the United States.
Keely Arthur joining us in studio tonight. Keely, thank you.
A developing story from Wyoming tonight. A Madison woman had to be rescued from a rock climbing route at the Grand Teton National Park this weekend. 24-year-old Grace Mooney was there with her climbing partner, a 33-year-old man from New York. The park says he fell to his death Sunday while rappelling down a popular rock climbing route. Mooney had to remain on the wall overnight until she could be rescued Monday morning.
Also new tonight, we're hearing for the first time the conversation between President Donald Trump and his longtime personal attorney, Michael Cohen, discussing a potential payment for a former Playboy model's account of having an affair with him. Cohen secretly recorded the conversation in 2016.
I need to open up a company for the transfer of all of that info regarding our friend David, so that I'm going to do that right away. I've actually come up and I've spoken to Alan Weisselberg about how to set the whole thing up with funding.
Cohen's attorney, Lanny Davis, provided the tape to CNN. Cohen can be heard on the recording saying he needs to start a company to transfer that information and says he will need financing.
Ivanka Trump, the president's daughter, has decided to shut down her company after deciding to pursue a career in public policy instead of returning to her fashion company. It comes more than a year after she formally separated herself from the company and entered the White House as a senior advisor.
2 weeks after the Sun Prairie explosion, many businesses are back to normal, but some are still getting there. The owner of Salvatore's Tomato Pie says he was still waiting earlier today when his gas would be turned back on so he could open his doors for business again. After expressing his thoughts on Facebook, We Energies finally got back to him this afternoon.
35 employees that are idle, and I'm unable to give them an update because all I keep hearing is we don't know. So today, earlier, finally, 5 minutes before you arrived, I did get a phone call from We Energies stating that they will be able to restore gas by Friday.
And there are still some folks in that area waiting to have their gas service restored. We'll keep you updated with more information as it becomes available.
Governor Walker is announcing $20,000 in disaster relief grants will be available to help victims of the explosion. The grants will be available to give emergency housing assistance to residents who lost their homes. According to WIDA, 34 families would be eligible for the grants. And more outpouring of support from the Sun Prairie community. According to a post on the Sun Prairie Police Station's Facebook page, Chiefs Brian Goff, Chris Garrison, and Pat Anhalt made a stop at the public library to collect 8 pages of handwritten messages for first responders.
All right, let's turn it over now to weather. Meteorologist Dave Caulfield in the Weather Center with our first alert forecast. Dave?
It's a beautiful night outside, Eric, with clear skies and lower humidity than we've been used to over the past couple of days. Looking downtown Madison on the Edgewater Skycam at those clear skies. Temperatures right now are in the low 70s, west-northwest wind at 7 miles per hour. Dew point dipping into the 50s for the first time in some time. Temperatures are in the upper 60s and low 70s right now across southern Wisconsin. And that is a bit of a temperature change in the positive direction for spots along the lakeshore. Milwaukee, about 10 degrees warmer than this time on Monday. Dew points are in the 50s for the most part, still a few 60s, but very tolerable for this time of year. Wind speeds are in the northwesterly direction out of northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Now, for your day planner tomorrow, starting off in the low 60s, we should make it comfortably into the low 80s for highs. We'll see increasing clouds with some chances for showers and thunderstorms. We'll time those out in your first alert forecast in just a few minutes.
Dave, thank you. Parts of Yosemite National Park have been closed as the raging Ferguson fire moves closer. That fire, which has claimed the life of one firefighter and injured several others, has now burned more than 36,000 acres, still just 25% contained. Overseas, wildfires taking a huge toll in Greece. 2 large fires have killed 74 people now, a number that could rise. These are burning near Athens. Witnesses say the fires are changing direction so quickly that many people are being caught off guard. Some even had to swim out to sea to escape the flames before being rescued by fishing boats.
Milwaukee Bucks star Giannis Antetokounmpo, who grew up in severe poverty in Greece, tweeted this last night. Translated, he says he's in shock, offering his condolences to the families of those who were lost, and he praised those who risked their own lives to save others. The Federal Commission on School Safety is visiting schools around the nation where staff members are actively taking steps to improve school safety and build a positive school climate. Today, the commissioners came to Wisconsin visiting the Adams Friendship School District.
No student, no parent, no teacher should ever have to worry about their safety while at school. But distressingly, too many do.
Adams Friendship is receiving national attention for how it's tackling mental health in schools. Almost a quarter of children there say they have considered suicide. In 2014, the district received a federal grant called Project Aware to help identify warning signs of mental health problems among children.
The Trump administration today announced emergency aid for farmers affected by the tariffs the White House has pushed for. The U.S. Department of Agriculture introduced a $12 billion plan to help farmers who are feeling the financial pain from China's retaliatory tariffs. The proposal includes direct payments to farmers purchasing excess crops and building new export markets. New concerns from Madison's police department that the city's heroin epidemic is getting worse. 17 people died from overdoses over the last 3 months in Madison alone, a massive increase from last year. Along with ease of access, police believe the increased purity and the combination of the drugs are contributing factors to the increase. Madison police responded to 83 heroin overdoses from April through June. And a showing of how bad it is on a national scale, pop star Demi Lovato was taken to a Los Angeles hospital today due to a possible heroin overdose. The 25-year-old spoke openly about cocaine and alcohol abuse in the past. Her family tonight says she is in stable condition.
Back in Madison, police say they're looking for this man tonight. 31-year-old Carlos Walks, believed to be responsible for a string of smash and grab style break-ins downtown. They say he's shattering windows and stealing from the vehicles parked in secure underground garages. An apartment complex in Fitchburg is causing a lot of controversy.
Some residents say it is unlivable. Others say it's their only place to go. Today, the city toured the building after an official complaint. Amy Reed joins us in the news center. She has the very latest. Amy?
Yeah, there was a lot of commotion once people from the city showed up to tour the apartment. They were responding to a complaint of roaches and general unlivable conditions, but some of the other tenants and former tenants said the city is just going after the landlord.
That's the problem. The problem is the man get away with this because people like this don't mind being in this building, but your children are being sick and you're having diseases and stuff like this here. You know what I'm saying? This is why I'm leaving this building, so I can better the health of my children and myself. Tear the building down and do better for the people that live in this building.
Calvin Edwards Bay is sick of the conditions at his apartment.
The apartment has been kept terribly. The upkeep of this building has been terrible.
He said his apartment has cockroaches and the landlord doesn't respond to his requests for repairs. Other tenants agree with him. One of them called the city and complained, which brought people from the city to check it out.
The only reason apartment wouldn't be in good condition is because of a tenant not keeping it up or not telling us if something is broken.
The landlord didn't want me going in there with them, but Mayor Jason Gonzalez told me afterward the tenants' complaints were real. He said the place was so bad they will likely have to get Dane County Public Health involved.
We're looking at doing this so people have a place that's safe, welcoming, and inviting for them to live. They're paying rent here, and they should get a good place to live, a good, safe place to live, and that's really what we're looking at.
Some residents don't want the city involved. They're worried about what will happen to the 70 or so people living inside.
All of these officials are trying to throw these people out on the streets. Where would they go?
They also said this landlord is just trying to do good by keeping them off the streets.
It's not about the money. It's about sheltering, having kids and families somewhere to go.
I love my tenants love me. And I don't want to disrupt their housing any more than they want me to disrupt their housing.
He said this issue with the city has been going on for years, and it's not an issue of livability, but what the city wants to do with the property. He said the city wants to tear the building down and build a road where it was, but he said he won't let it happen.
It's causing a ruckus, and I don't know really what Fitchburg is up to here today.
The mayor told me a hotel already put an offer on the property, but the landlord says he wants more money. Now, the city said they are trying to put together a plan to divert future property taxes to help buy the land.
The story will continue to follow. Amy Reed in our news center tonight. Amy, thank you.
New tonight at 10, Waunakee firefighters battled some unpleasant conditions to save a pair of cows from a manure pit overnight. They fell in around 7 o'clock last night at a farm on Higher Road. They used a loader to get the cows out, and both were unharmed.
Still ahead tonight, we'll tell you what 3 Wisconsin water parks made it into the top 20 in the entire nation.
And get your tickets ready. We have the winning numbers from tonight's $500 million Mega Millions drawing.
Welcome back. In consumer headlines today, Pepperidge Farm has been added to the list of companies voluntarily recalling products linked to possible whey powder contamination.
This recall includes 4 varieties of Goldfish crackers. Those are Flavor Blasted Extra Cheddar, Flavor Blasted Sour Cream and Onion, Goldfish Baked with Whole Grain Extra Cheddar, and Goldfish Mix Extra Cheddar Plus Pretzel. So far, no illnesses have been reported. It follows the recall of Ritz crackers, Swiss rolls, and Hungry Man chicken wings. Tonight's Mega Millions jackpot now stands at $522 million, so get out your tickets. Here are those winning numbers: 1, 2, 4, 19, 29, and a mega ball of 20. It is the 5th largest jackpot in Mega Millions history, and if no one matches all 5 numbers plus the mega ball tonight, that jackpot will continue to grow.
Madison Comic-Con is returning for its 4th year. It'll be held at Monona Terrace on August 12th, packed with events including an adult and children costume contest, video game tournaments. According to a press release, many legends in the comic book industry will be visiting to purchase tickets. We have a link on our website, channel3000.com. 3 of the top 20 water parks in the country are right here in South Central Wisconsin. There they are. This is according to TripAdvisor. The Wilderness, Kalahari, and Noah's Ark, all in the top 20, all, of course, in the Dells. The top spot went to Disney's Typhoon Lagoon down in Orlando.
Meteorologist Dave Caulfield is here, and it was a great day to go to the water park.
Yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this nice weather, because some changes are on the way for tomorrow in the form of some showers and thunderstorms that will come our way during the evening hours. It's not because of this cold front that passed over the region today. That actually knocked our humidity down just a little bit. It's that low pressure system off to the north and west that will arrive tomorrow afternoon and bring us at least a chance for some showers and thunderstorms into tomorrow evening and night. Doppler track is quiet right now, still under the influence of high pressure that is controlling the weather. Not wetter, it will be wetter tomorrow. The weather across the Midwest. Now, our severe weather outlook showing a marginal risk of severe weather in town for tomorrow. That's level 1 of 5. Could be some strong thunderstorms. Really not expecting widespread severe weather with this. I think that's a little bit farther back to the west and southwest into portions of Minnesota and Iowa. But the severe threats for tomorrow really starting right about 6 p.m., I think, for much of us across southern Wisconsin. Locally heavy downpours, some gusty wind, and some small hail very early on in these storms' lifespans are possible. So we'll have to keep an eye to the sky for tomorrow afternoon and evening. Our time lapse in Platteville showing lots of sunshine, those fair weather cumulus clouds. In Platteville right now, we can see a nice looking full moon, as well as the lights off in the distance. Clear skies right now. Temperatures are in the 60s and 70s across southern Wisconsin. Still at 72 in Madison, 68 in Mineral Point, and in Platteville, where we just saw, and 67 in Viroqua. Dew points are in the 50s and still a few 60s showing up, but very tolerable for this time of year. That cold front definitely did help us out in the humidity department. Wind speeds out of the north and west at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. The wind shouldn't be that bad until we get into Thursday. That's when we're a little bit breezy and cooler as well. Look at the high temperature trend over the next 7 days. Tomorrow we're in the 80s, so a tad above average, but then we are settling into the 70s. That is for sure. Break out the bell bottoms there. Maybe that's more the 60s there, but we are going to be well below average for the next week or so. And this could be the longest stretch of 70s since the middle of May, so over 2 months. We'll see. We'll keep our fingers crossed. Tonight, 62. There are those 60s I was talking about. Tomorrow, highs in the 80s, warm and humid, late day showers and thunderstorms coming our way. Future track showing things remaining quiet tonight with temperatures dipping into the low 60s. Then tomorrow, future track showing those scattered showers and thunderstorms possible. This latest run has the bulk of the storm activity to the north, but we can't necessarily take one of these runs as gospel. We just need to be prepared for the threat of some stronger showers and thunderstorms tomorrow evening and night. Then slight chance of showers and thunderstorms on Thursday. Don't really expect all that much. Really not setting the world on fire with these precipitation potential totals, but if a downpour does set up, we could get locally higher amounts, that is for sure. Your 7-day forecast showing things in the 70s for the foreseeable future until we get to the middle of next week. That's when we're back into the 80s with plenty of chances for showers and storms, but also a good amount of sunny days in there as well.
Just so you know, Eric rocked those bell bottoms.
I mean,
70s, definitely 70s.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yes.
That was
a young guy with an old soul.
Yeah.
We appreciate it. Experience on offense could be the key to the Badger football fortunes of 2018. The story from Big Ten Football Media Day in Chicago just ahead.
There are very high expectations for the Badger football team again this season. They're the favorites to win the Big Ten West and make a run at a spot in the college football playoff. One of the big reasons for all that is having 10 of 11 starters back on offense, including the entire offensive line. Kevin Lewis has more from Big Ten Football Media Day in Chicago.
There's been some shuffling on the offensive line in recent years, but it's stayed consistent, and that's where the Badgers' offense starts. Senior Michael Dieter is the anchor, and he put his NFL dreams on hold so he could help push this team to the college football playoff.
It's got to be personal. You got to know, why are you staying? Why would you leave? Stuff like that. I would say my biggest things were I would love to play for another Big Ten championship and get a chance to win one because, our track record hasn't been good. We're getting there, which is great. You love those seasons, but you want to win them.
You're excited for and appreciative of the fact you get to spend more time with them. You actually like these guys, so to be around them more, that's a good thing. But in the end, you just want what's best for them.
I just wanted one more year to be with, I just call them my guys. All my best friends are on this team. And it just seemed like I'll still have this chance to play in the NFL after this year, but I don't get another opportunity to play with these guys specifically.
With the Badgers knocking on the door of the playoff, Coach Chris said the noise outside the locker room is getting louder, but the noise inside the locker room is staying the same, and their focus is just playing good football. In Chicago at Big Ten Media Day, I'm Kevin Lewis, News 3 Sports.
Brett Bielema got a new job today. He's now in the NFL with the New England Patriots. Bielema's new title is consultant to the head coach, which sounds like it could range from providing important advice on scouting to would you like regular or decaf, Coach Belichick. It's Bielema's first job in the NFL. The Packers are moving into training camp today at St. Norbert College in De Pere. The players started moving their stuff into the dorms. They'll have meetings tomorrow. Then training camp starts for real on the field Thursday with the first practice just before noon at Ray Nitschke Field. Here are the winners on day 2 of the All-City Diving Meet at Westside Swim Club. Ridgewood's Claire Wendler, the champion of 10 and under girls. 2 divers from High Point won their age groups. Boston Boyd in 10 and under boys. Eleanor Mackey in 15 to 18 girls. And Ridgewood's Alex Ritter wins 15 to 18 boys. All-City Swimming starts Thursday in Monona. Stage 16 of the Tour de France was going along just fine until a protester sprayed tear gas near the riders. Some of the riders were hit by the spray, causing a delay while they all rinsed out their eyes. Then a little later, Philippe Gilbert was cruising along and went a little too fast into a curve, and something bad's going to happen here. Gilbert was okay, though, and he got back in the race. Julien Alaphilippe won the stage. Geraint Thomas has the yellow jersey. Second round of the Wisconsin State Men's Amateur Golf Championship. Hunter Eichhorn leads by 2. Janesville's George Botts and Middleton's Johnny Decker are in the top 10. But look who's in a tie for 19th place. Tony Romo after a 171 today in Minocqua. The Brewers go for something they haven't had for a while, a winning streak. Yeah, it would only be a 2-game winning streak, but at this point, they'd take it. Before the game, the Brewers welcomed Jeff Jenkins into their Walk of Fame and the late Harry Dalton, Doug Melvin, and Prince Fielder into their Wall of Honor. That delayed the start of the game against the Nationals about 20 minutes. Brewers had a little trouble getting going. Down 4-0, they rally. Christian Yelich had a big 2-run homer, and they battled all the way back. It's in the 9th now. It's the Nationals 4 and the Brewers 4. And we'll be right back.
And here's a last look at your 10-day forecast. Temperatures in the 80s tomorrow with chance of some stronger showers and thunderstorms. Then we settle into the 70s for much of the 10-day forecast with some chances for showers and storms in there as well.
Dave, thank you. And thank you for joining us for News 3 at 10.
Do something good, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.